Would God really never lay on you more than you could handle? Hey everybody, this is Pastor Justin Walker with The Whole Truth. We're going through the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation. We've made it to Genesis chapter 6. We've seen the creation of the world. We've seen the creation of man, the Garden of Eden, the fall of man, Cain and Abel, the genealogy of Adam. And then in chapter 6, we've seen that the creation, the world, has become corrupt. Now, this is not a fable. This is not a myth. There are other accounts in history that talk about a global flood. Those are mythological. This is a real account of a real guy. This really happened. As a matter of fact, I would dare to say that those other accounts, those mythological accounts, are probably based in some way off of maybe an oral account that another culture has passed down from this time of Noah, this time of a real guy on an earth that is really populated. You need to understand, this is not 10 people or 15 people. We've had hundreds of years passing, thousands of years passing. Adam almost lived 1,000 years. Methuselah lived almost 1,000 years. And now we're to the point of Noah. So we've got a couple of thousand years on the earth. We have not just thousands of people, really millions of people. The earth is becoming populated, but it's also become corrupt. And so God says this, it's Genesis chapter 6 and verse 13. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. God just tells Noah that he is going to destroy the earth. He's going to destroy all of it. I mean, we're talking there's cities. Remember Lamech, he built a whole city. There's cities that are built. There's people, there's towns, there's villages, there's children and women, and there's people who have jobs, and there's farms, and there's industry. I mean, we've already read there were people that are making musical instruments and people that are workers of iron. So this is not like we have, there's some tribal people and they're a violent people. No, this is lots and lots of people, the millions of people. The entire earth is filled up with people, and God is going to flood the earth. And even more so, can you imagine this? He tells Noah that he is going to flood the earth. And even more than that, look what he tells Noah to do. Make yourself, this is verse 14, make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits. Its width 50 cubits and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark on its side, and you shall make it with lower, second, and third decks. Now, a cubit, the typical cubit is from your elbow to the tip of your finger. Okay, that's a cubit. 18 inches is 16 to 18 inches, but I'm going to use 18 inches as the number for right now to help us do a little bit of math. Now, the ark, he's just told, can you imagine being in Noah's shoes? Build an ark. Noah's, okay, all right, you're going to destroy all flesh. That's heavy. Now, build an ark. And when he says build an ark, you're going to make it 300 cubits. If that's from the tip of your elbow to the tip of your finger, that's 450 feet. 450 feet in one direction. And then 50 cubits wide. Now 50 cubits wide, that's 450 feet one direction, 75 feet on its width, and then its height would be 45 feet. Then you're going to cover it inside and out with pitch. Now can you imagine already that as Noah is thinking, 450 feet? That's longer than a football field. He didn't know what a football field was, but I'm saying that for us. I mean, that's a big boat. That's a big ark. 450 feet by 75 feet by 45 feet tall. And then you're going to put 3 decks in it. Covering all that with pitch alone would take years. Pitch would be like a tar, like an oily type of a tar that they would use to waterproof the ark. You need to make the ark waterproof. And he's going to tell him why he'll make the ark waterproof. In this instance right now, he's just said, make this ark, make it 450 by 75 by 45. Interestingly enough, over and over again, that has been verified by anybody that knows about ships and boats, that certainly would be that those numbers would be real. That number would float. Okay, 450 feet by 75 feet by 45 feet tall. That would make it buoyant. It would float. Even though that's a huge thing, it's not going to sink. The way that is shaped, shipbuilders today would have similar dimensions in length and breadth and height to their ships. And by the way, Noah is not a caveman. He's very intelligent. As a matter of fact, not only is he very intelligent, he must be very industrious, because I want you to notice God did not go to Noah because Noah was a shipbuilder. He didn't tell Noah, notice in verse 14, he didn't say, let's read verse 14 this way, hire a shipbuilder to make you an ark. He told Noah, as best as we can tell a guy that doesn't have anything to do with boats, build an ark. Make it 450 feet. I'm just using numbers we can understand. 450 feet by 75 feet by 45. Put 3 decks in it and cover the whole thing with pitch. And we know from last week, we know that there's only 120 years to make this happen. I say only 120 years because it would take every bit of 120 years for a guy and his 3 sons to build an ark that big. Now look at why God says this in verse 17. And behold, I myself am bringing flood waters on the earth to destroy from under heaven all flesh, in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. Everything's going to die. But Noah, if you build this ark, you're going to live. Now imagine being in Noah's shoes in this moment. I'm going to build this gigantic ark. I'm going to cover it with pitch. I'm going to put all of these levels in it. Now look, God says in verse 18, but I will establish my covenant with you. You shall go in the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. And every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark and keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female of the birds after their kinds, of animals after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after its kind. 2 of every kind will come to you to keep them alive. Did you see that? 2 of every kind will come to you to keep them alive. In verse 21, and you shall take for yourself all the food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to yourself, and it shall be for food for you and for them. Now, giant boat, now he's told, make 3 levels, and then 2 of every kind of animal. They're going to come to you, and you're going to house them. So let's take this even further. Now you need to go and get food for all of these animals. These animals eat stuff. They're going to eat hay and straw and grass and fruits and all kinds of things. I mean, we've got dogs in our house, and we've got a little guinea pig, and they eat different types of food, and we give the guinea pig, we'll give him lettuce and carrots and little fruits and veggies. Noah, you've got to go get all the food for all the animals and store it up in the ark, and they're going to come to you. And when they do, you're going to house them in the ark. Can you imagine being in Noah's shoes right now? He doesn't build ships. He's not a zoologist. He doesn't know animals like that. Are you sticking with me about what I'm trying to say to you? And now look at this. Look at verse 22. Thus Noah did according to all that God commanded him. So he did. It's no wonder that in the book of Hebrews that Noah is labeled for his faith, and that it was by faith that God saved him. God didn't save him because he had a whole bunch of skill. God didn't save him because he had a whole bunch of knowledge. God saved him because he had faith in what he had said. And that is the same for you and I. You've made it this far into the video, and I want you to hear this. It is not true that God will not lay on you more than you can handle. God will not lay on you more than he can handle. As a matter of fact, many times God does lay on us much more than we can handle, so that we will put our faith and our trust in him. So I don't know what God's asking you to walk through today, but will you hear this very encouraging message? God will see you through if you'll put your faith in him. And even if you die in this earth, even if you die now, you're going to glory with him. He gives us eternal life. He gives us his Holy Spirit. And what he asks us to do, he gives us the ability and the strength and the know-how to do it. Listen, God doesn't always give you all of the we don't do you see all the exacts here? Some things are exact, like the length and the breadth and the height, and the gopher wood and the pitch, those things are pretty specific. But does Noah know how to build a boat? He doesn't know how to build a boat. Does he know how to take care of animals? He doesn't know how to take care of animals, but he trusts God who's called him to do it. What's God calling you to do? And maybe it's something that doesn't anything near as big as this. Maybe God's calling you to teach a class. Maybe God's calling you to lead a Sunday school class, or maybe to go on a mission trip, and you're saying to yourself, I don't think I can do that. You can if you'll put your faith in him. If he's calling you to do it, he'll give you the strength and the ability and the knowledge. Hope you'll be encouraged by that today, and we'll finish up with more of Noah and the flood and all that happened there tomorrow, and as we get into chapter 7 of Genesis. So I hope to see you then.